Plastic is a synthetic organic polymer made from petroleum with properties ideally suited for a wide variety of applications. Over 300 million tons of plastics are produced every year. In 2025, the annual input is estimated to be twice greater. So, for 2025, it will be 8 million metric ton estimated, or 100 bags of plastic per foot of coastline in the world. From the graph, we can see the trend of plastic production over 50 years. The study showed that the plastic production has been increased by 24 over the last 50 years from 1950 until 2014. The plastic will be categorized into 7 types. The first one is polyethylene terephthalate or PET. The second one is high density polyethylene or HDPE. Third one is low density polyethylene LDPE. The fourth one, polypropylene PP. Then polystyrene or PS. The last one is expanded polystyrene or EPS. Plastic pollution in marine environment can take up to 500 years to degrade. The fastest degradation time is 10 years.
When we talk about plastic or microplastic, there are always obstacles when coming to solve this issue, whether it is worldwide or even in our country, Malaysia. The microplastic and even plastic that covered in our country is increasing day by day, which make us to think, is there any solutions for these problems? Or where this microplastic come from? Do they have potential threat to our health?
Then we move to the next question. What is the reach and depth of the research impact? Through the research, we are able to identify the different types of sources of microplastic entering our aquatic environment, which include clothing, domestic application, marine litter, and extensive plastic packaging. Then, we are able to do the classification of plastic that produce microplastic, which include primary and secondary microplastic.
Primary sources are the microplastics that are manufactured for particular industrial or domestic applications to be of a microscopic size, while for secondary sources is the large plastics that disintegrate into smaller size due to sunlight or high UV rays.
Third, understanding the impacts of plastic and microplastic through the understanding the sources, pathway, and bioaccumulation of microplastic in marine organisms leads to the agency of plans, campaigns, bans, and policy for plastic and microplastic effect. Then, due to the microplastic effect, the rise of the ideology of biodegradation of plastic using microbe is exposed to the world. Researchers going around biodegradation using bacteria to degrade this widely spread microplastic.
So, by using microbes for degrading the microplastic is considered beneficial because microbes can utilize the polymer as a source of carbon and energy. Bacteria are very opportunistic and can invade and adapt in any environment. These microbes could be harnessed as an environmentally safe way to degrade microplastic. Such microbes could then be applied to the treatment of sewage wastewater, as this could limit inputs from domestic uses.
So, for this question, do the solutions given be deliverable? The answer is yes, because the government sectors has great public awareness to community through education and private learning. That was a result of big impact to them. Even still need long way to go to raise awareness about microplastic. From research that has been made by Ivar Dosul et al. 2013, the first in-depth explorations on effect of microplastic on the marine environment and biota have drawn attention of scientific community about the monitoring of contaminated pellet so as to determine temporal pattern of the various toxic chemicals that could aid decision making for future works. And the next point is reducing of microplastic problem that related on socio-economic sectors, tourism and companies cannot be done without involvement of general public. In addition, research avenues are being tested on bacteria of marine origins which have properties that could degrade marine microplastic.
I agree that the project final outcome appropriate with ecological principle because first, as an emerging pollutant of great concern, there less or no public or private sector awareness for the possible detrimental danger caused by microplastic and nanoplastic as compared to macroplastic. Second, create public awareness through education at public, private and government sector will go a long way to rise. Third, provide first in-depth exploration of the effect of microplastic on the marine environment and biota. They draw the attention of the specific community to monitor of contaminated pellet so as determine temporary pattern of the very toxic chemical that could aid decision making for future work. Awareness about microplastic. Fourth, encourage using microbeads that do not contain chemical as a safe action plan for the environment and allow microplastic management without any adverse effect.
I agreed with the approach taken to address this problem. In process of reducing plastic pollution in marine environment problem, involvement from general public, the socio-economic sectors, tourism and companies are needed, especially from parties that specialize in waste management. Nowadays, many parties willingly to participate in reducing plastic pollution movement. Result from the approach, little or no public and private sectors start to aware of the possible detrimental dangers posed by microplastic and nanoplastics as compared to macroplastic. Other than that, many individuals and agencies like university start to creating public awareness through education at the public, private and government sector to raise awareness about microplastic. Lastly, several organizations also start to develop a management guideline due to their concern about microplastic problem, especially to the marine environment. Some of the organizations that start to take action are the United Nations Expert Panel of the United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP) and United Nations Environment Programme / Mediterranean Action Plan UNEP-MAP. By this all action taken, let's hope that plastic pollution in the marine environment will start to reduce and we can have a better life in the future.